Hey guys, welcome to another Rambles. I'm going to ramble about work this time. I'm going to go through a little bit of history. First, I'm going to tell you why I got my job. I should probably tell you where I work. I work at McDonald's in Taylorville. It's a job. It's my first job. I've been there over a year. And there's a lot that's happened in that past year. I started July 17th, 2014. When I first got the job, I got the job because I got a ticket. The story behind the ticket is I was driving in Decatur to pick up Nathaniel. I came to a stop sign. It was raining real bad. My windows were foggy. Couldn't see very well. Looked both ways. There was a parked car on the side of the road that I was about to cross. I didn't see a Cadillac. I pulled out. He came at me. We both swerved. Luckily, he missed me, but he hit a parked car, so the cops got called, and I got a ticket for failure to yield. Put on a year court supervision, and that's that. So I had a $120 ticket, and then some fees for the class and court supervision that I had to pay back, which is no big deal. I mean, gave my dad an excuse to make me get a job, right? It's good to have a job in high school. Gives you money and character and stress. But so I got the job. I applied and I got the job a week and a half later, I think. It was pretty quick. I started out regular crew. At McDonald's, there's a hierarchy. You start as crew and you work your way up. And the next step is trainer, then crew chief, which are basically assistant managers, and then there's swing managers, which they're managers, and then there's salary managers, which run whole departments, not just certain shifts. Pretty simple. And then there's, of course, the general manager who's in charge of everything. So I got the job. When I first started, I was on my game. I worked as hard as I could. I gave 110% every single day. I was working 8 to 10 hours a week when I first started. After about 2 weeks, one of my managers came up and asked why I didn't work very much. I told him simply, I don't get scheduled very many hours. He asked if I would like more. I said yes, sure. My hours jumped from 10 to 18, and then they steadily rose from 18 to, it got to the point where I was working about 30 hours a week. That was kind of rough during high school. That was my junior year. I was working 30 hours a week. And part of my senior year. Not right now, but it made things a little tough because I would work almost every day. My social life dropped off almost completely. It was hard to do anything with anybody because I was always at work. I worked after schools, and there would be days where I'd get out of school at 2:30, drive to McDonald's, clock on at 3, and get off at 11. Like, that's a long day. But, I mean, I didn't mind it, and I elected to do that. I could have told them at any time I didn't want to work that much. It's not their fault. I worked hard, and it paid off. I got promoted. About 4 months into working there, I started asking about moving up. I was very ambitious. I wanted to help make McDonald's better, and I got promoted. About 11 months into my working there, I got promoted to crew trainer. That's actually pretty quick to get promoted. There's some people who waited 2-3 years. Most people waited 2 to 3 years to get promoted, whereas I had been there 11 months and got promoted. And I got promoted before a couple of the people who had been there 2 or 3 years. All I can say to that is that's not my decision. I worked hard for it. After I was really on top of everything. I became really good at my job. I can do everything at McDonald's, except for I don't do paperwork because I'm not a crew chief or manager. So anything that involves paperwork, I don't do. And then I'm really bad at taking orders because I don't know the computer screens very well because I'm never up front. But basically anything else I can do. So I worked hard, and it got to a point where it wasn't really worth it anymore. Like, all the effort I was putting in was just, it stopped being appreciated. That's how I'm going to put it. I feel that I stopped being appreciated for all the hard work I did. I mean, I would give up days that I had off to rush into work and help them. I would cover people's shifts all the time. I would stay extra hours without being asked because they needed stuff done. And sometimes I would get a thank you, and most of the time I wouldn't. If I stayed over, most of the time I got a thank you. But most of the time, it just it became expected. Which, I mean, it should be, right? Everyone should be expected to do that hard work. But when you're one of the only people in the entire night crew who shows up and does their absolute best every day, it gets old. It really does. Because you're trying your best, and all that's happening is people around you are messing up, and you're getting yelled at for it. Because you're above them. And I get that's how that works. And I get that managers are under more stress than I am, and that it's okay. Like, they're people too. But it became not worth it. So I decided I wasn't happy. I'm gonna quit my job. I couldn't just quit my job. Not with how my family's financials will work. I pay for a lot of stuff that I do by myself. So I came up to my dad. I was like, "Hey, Dad. I'm thinking about quitting my job. I'm very unhappy with it. I want to do it right. I want to make sure that you are okay with this." We talked for about an hour and a half, and we were settled. He agreed that things would get a little bit tighter, but he was okay with me quitting my job. So I quit. I quit my job after being there for over a year, and I was gone for about a month. A month later, my dad came up to me and he needed help, and that was really big of him to ask me for help. So I did my best. I went straight back after that conversation. I went straight to McDonald's and asked for my old job back. I was fully prepared to start all over. I left on good terms. I gave my 2 weeks. I did all the stuff you're supposed to do when you quit. And I came back. I started. They gave me a lot of things. There were some things they didn't give me, which is understandable from a business perspective. Why they wouldn't? But I came back and I started working again, and I quickly remembered why I left in the first place. Am I gonna leave again? Probably not. There's no point to. I started getting 30 hours a week, which is tiring after not doing it for a month. And then Christmas break came around, and I took all of it off because I was going to see my mom. And I did go to see my mom. Things did not go as I planned with my mom's house. I'll talk about my mom in another video, but right now I'm just trying to fix things with her. Because the past, I'll get to that in a completely different. There's a lot between me and my mom that I need to work out, and that I will talk about at a later date. Moving on, where was I? Oh yeah, I quickly remembered why I left. But right now, with how after Christmas break, my hours got cut to 10 hours a week, and I don't mind it. Yeah, I don't get paid as much as I would working 30 hours a week. Obviously, it's obvious, but it's really helped me to realize that the job really isn't that bad. What killed me in the first times when I started to want to leave is I was working too much putting too much on my plate. And that's my fault, not the job's. So, I started trying again. I'm trying my best. It's hard to be motivated about it, though. This video is long as crap. I'm sorry. Jeez. Work. Here's what I'm saying about work. No matter what you do, no matter if you're the boss or the employee, one thing needs to be established. If you want employees to do their very best, you have to treat them with understanding, and you also, there's got to be something there. Like, you can't just yell at them all the time and expect the best to come out, because nothing gets done that way. Yelling doesn't solve anything, neither does violence. And neither does favoritism. Favoritism is rampant at many places that I go to. School, just basically any organization, there's favoritism. I usually don't have a problem with it because I'm usually a favorite. But I still feel bad. There's no reason that two other people should get yelled at while I'm doing the same thing as them, and I get away with it simply because of who I am. That's not okay. But what I'm saying is, my only thing about work is never live to work. All you ever do is work, you're wasting your life. Yes, work is important. Yes, you need money to survive. But if all you ever do is work, all you're doing is surviving. You're not living, you're surviving. You work, and you're not happy. Especially if you don't like the job. If you love your job, work as much as you want. But if you're in a situation where you don't really like your job, but you need it, and all you ever do is work, you leave no time for family, friends, none of that, you're gonna be miserable. And it's no fun. You have to take time for yourself, and you have to take time to have friends. I've talked for way too long. I always do. If you watched it to this point, thank you. I could ramble for a long time about work. There's some things that I hate about it, I'm not gonna lie, but it doesn't matter where you go. There's always gonna be favoritism, there's always gonna be yelling, there's always gonna be something that you don't like. So, you get used to it. Working at McDonald's is not that bad. A lot of people say that it sucks, but I'm sure it's worse other places. I enjoy my job most of the time. Sometimes, I swear, I don't know where they find these people. I've met some of the dumbest people in my life. And I've met a lot of dumb people at my job. And usually, I'm not going to say that. I'm not going to say that. It's not nice. Anyway. Yeah. I'm going to conclude this video. Before I go, I'm going to say happy birthday to Coady Stoll. He's one of the few people who watch my videos. So maybe he'll get a kick out of this. Happy birthday, Coady. I hope you love your new truck. I'm signing off. I am Luke Bucket, and I hope you have a wonderful night.